Hello guys, welcome to stream. Let me know if there's any interruptions in the audio or if the game is lagging. Joining me today is my best co-caster, Potato Monster. How are you doing, Potato?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How about you, Jatin? You just had a best of three series, I believe, and now
I
we're
just
all
had a
set
best
to
of
watch
three series.
another.
Yeah, and I'm going from player mode to caster mode now. We've got Cliffside as our first map, and on the north side, this is Ozutsu or Punish, as we all know him, or as known for his inhuman aggression, quoting Murji directly. On the south side, we've got Magma playing as English. I think everybody knows about Punish because he's a very regular member of the community. I'll tell you all a little bit about Magma. He is an Age of Empires 1 pro. When I say pro, I mean he's in the top 10 of the Age of Empires 1 competitive community, probably the best Indian Age of Empires 1 player. And some of you may not know, but there's actually a very thriving community of Age of Empires 1 in the competitive scene. And I have played a lot with Magma in the past. He's pretty good. I think Conqueror 1 level. If we compare the ranks, I think Magma is a better player, but at the same time, we know Punish doesn't play ranked as much. So we will find out. I feel like Punish is much better than what his rank says about him. He is Plat 3 or Diamond 1, I believe. But yeah. Potato, who's your favorite?
My favorite, as always, is going to be I, me, and myself. I, of course, being the best player the world has ever seen. Whichever one of these players will come closer to emulating what I would do in the match is obviously going to win the game.
It's going to be very hard to guess that because there is no French, and I don't think you play anything except French.
Actually, French is my weakest civ, and I play only French so as to go easy on my opponents.
All right. Then. Which civ do you think has an advantage in this matchup, Zushi or English?
I kind of feel like the standard Zushi play of going into Mas Chugonu in the feudal age might be pretty easy to counter by the English. The question is, what kind of strategy is Punish going to go for here? Is he going to try to stick it out in the feudal age and maybe try to take on the English there, or is he going to go for a fast castle, which I believe might be the better choice, but it could be a bit hard against a civilization that like the English that excels in applying that early pressure.
Yeah, you're right. I think H Fast Castle would be a good choice. All and a big mistake that Punch has done is just not scouting his opponent for anything. So Punch is playing blind. Well, he does know that it's 4 minutes 40 seconds as his opponent has not aged. Uh, his scout is just approaching the English TC. So if he sees the stone, that's his cue that he doesn't have to worry about anything.
He does see the five villages on stone, and obviously the English is going to go for a 2 TC play. I have seen this quite often recently where the English like to go for those 2 TCs and age up with the White Tower instead of the King's Palace like we used to see in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2TC White Tower is really good, and also I just think White Tower is objectively the better landmark, and the reason is it's a castle versus a town center. The castle is more expensive than a town center, and it's a castle that double produces units. So you can think of it as double barracks, double archery range, double stables. So it's a lot of savings on your wood. So I just feel like unless you have a very specific scenario or you're pressed for eco, you should never go for King's Palace. The White
Definitely
Tower is
makes
just.
more sense
Mm-hmm.
as the landmark option if you are already going for a second TC in the feudal age. But it looks like he's done collecting stone, and the response from Punish is going to be to mine some stone of his own, put down another TC, and Zushi, as the Chinese variant civilization, does like to go for a bunch of TCs. If they can, they get a pretty nice discount with their Song Dynasty bonus, I think it is.
Yeah, they get. I think their TCs cost 240 wood after the Song Dynasty. That's a 40% wood discount. Different from the main Chinese if Song Dynasty where they get 33% faster village production, which is also pretty good. But I think the good part about Zushi Dynasty is that you can benefit from the Song Dynasty even if you're playing single TC, because that wood discount is going to apply everywhere. While for mainstream Chinese, you have to go second TC or even more TCs if you want to amplify that Song Dynasty bonus. So I like the Zushi
Yeah,
better.
true. Zushi definitely, I think, is one of the stronger saves in the patch. I think a lot of people were expecting more nerfs in
Mm-hmm.
this set of balance changes, but we didn't really see that. And after going into the WTC, it looks like Magma is going to open with a few longbows screaming right into Punish's base. He knows what's up. He sees the stone being mined, so he should know that there is some TC action going on. And in fact, Triple TC seems to be
Yeah, it's
on our
Triple
dance
City
card.
and longbows waiting on the deer, which makes sense. You would expect your opponent to put a TC on the deer, but I think for Zushi with their Song Dynasty, they don't exactly have to use the deer. And there is a very safe deer and boar in the back. Well, exactly not in the back, but on the side of Zushi.
It is pretty far back, but yeah, Zushi also gets a fair bit of discount on their farms, considering the fact that they have the wood drop off bonus that the Chinese have, and it looks like some action is going to be brewing here as a TC is attempted to be constructed near the gold mine, but it is
Ooh.
going to be denied by the four longbows over there. A horseman is chasing the scout out there in the background, and we also see a granary being dropped down, and that
Yeah,
is
that.
also going to be cancelled. So this it seems that Punish was not really ready for this longbow aggression. He probably expected Magma to maybe just sit in his base and go for the third edge, but it looks like Magma has decided to get
Oh.
those two TCs, and that's one villager going down. That's not good. That's
He's
two villagers going down, and it seems the Punish has finally noticed.
he's getting some very good villager kills, and I have to appreciate how Magma used his scout to bait the horseman while using the longbows to shoot. That was a high IQ play there.
Yeah. How many
Oh.
villagers has he lost so far? Can we switch to the caster UI?
All right, let's do that. Which should have been in that to begin with. My bad. Very inexperienced caster.
Same. But alarm bells are ringing as the woodline is kind of under pressure. Scout is taking damage from the town center. It is slightly in range. Look like he did end up moving him out of range. Scout barely survives, and that woodline, all the villagers needed. Looks like they're gonna have to pack up and move on to another woodline.
Yeah,
So we already see some effects of this aggression by Magma.
yeah. Magma is forcing Pan to move behind his base. He cannot take anything forward. No more forward gold for him. And luckily for Punish, there is a gold at the back, so he can still just chill and he doesn't have to exactly fight this. What I'm seeing here is Magma does have wheelbarrow and no upgrades from Punish, and what looked like just a small harass is turning into a full push from Magma. He's got a forward outpost coming. He's got uh, two barracks and council houses to archer ranges. This is going to be a full-on push here.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. Magma is dropping an outpost there for the network of castle buff to his longbows. He is sitting on a heavy military advantage right now, 20 military to 4, and he's sitting on 46 villages to the 42 that Punish has. I kind of feel like maybe 3 town centers was a bit too much because
Yeah,
constructing those town centers, the villages that you need just to keep those town centers pumping food, that's a lot investment. And Magma right now only 2 TCs, but his TC did come up slightly earlier. I think I'm not 100% sure, but all of those villager kills, the 4 villager kills, does mean that even though he's up against triple TC Zushi, he's still up on villagers.
I think he's in a very good condition right now. One thing that I think Magma can exploit, the fact that he has all the map control and he is not punished in the defensive, he could move his base and take deer, even the boar on the side side because there's no way Punish can be aggressive, especially on the side on the east side of the map where his army is reinforcing. So there is no way Punish can block that. Just starting
Yeah,
with
it's
base for
pretty.
English. Oh yeah, potato.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult situation for him. Uh, he is sitting at a pretty heavy military disadvantage. It does take out the scout, so um, Magma is going to be blind for a while unless he decides to get another scout out. He is going to outpost the berry bushes as well. I think he could have gone slightly more aggressive with that outpost. Does constructed behind the berries, but I think Punish needs to kind of be a bit more proactive in this game. He is down to half the number of units. Granted, a lot of them are horsemen and generally more
Oh
expensive units, but it looks like that's a lot of damage coming out from the longbows. Does he not have plus one?
yeah.
He does
Oh
not
yeah.
have plus one.
He does not have any armor compared to Magma, who's got both the ranged armor and the ranged damage. So those longbows are these are the best archers you can get in H2 currently.
Yep, and it
And
looks like Magma is going to continuously fish for those kills, and we see a small engagement breaking out here. The spear numbers
oh
are relatively light, but he is going to lose a lot of Chukonu. It looks like the spears are going down finally. There are about 5 horsemen, with pretty big clean up
oh
by
man, that
Ozutsu
was
here, but
unexpected.
yeah, the spears were pretty far behind and they were really not in a position to defend at that moment. And it looks like the crossbows, the horsemen rather, are going to clean up here. So, lot of pretty big losses on the side of Magma, but we do see that he is still in the villager advantage right now.
Yeah, he is, and there were two mistakes from Magma here that could have changed the fight here. First, he was fighting outside the network of castles influence, and second, he has staggered his longbows, which is good if your opponent has siege, but it's extremely bad if your opponent has cavalry, because it's very easy for the cavalry to be between the longbows and pick them apart. So
Yeah, it's all about that surface area in these range versus
yeah,
melee fights, and those horsemen were able to like infiltrate into the longbows in a way pretty easily because of the staggered formation, and plus it also kind of neutralizes the range advantage those longbows have by a fair amount because they end up being so spread apart.
yeah, that's right. We still don't see any. Actually, don't know Blacksmith from Punish yet, but he still has won a fight. In fact, he has won the most critical fight because that was a army difference of 2 times, and he was able to neutralize that. Now they have the army count, and Punish is Magma is still leading in villagers, but
Magma is still leading in villages, but the three TCs are going to eventually catch up. Now that Punish's food economy is set up nice and strong, he shouldn't really have too many issues with food. We can see here he is raking it about 1,000 food a minute, similar number that we see for Magma on the other side as well. And it looks like he is going to pull back a bit, use that outpost as sort of a strong point to gather his army and perhaps look for another push. Right now, wait, we see Magma sitting on 1.4k gold, a bit that, my friends, a bit of a macro error, but it looks like he is going to be aging up. So
oh yeah, that white tower. You know what? If you're Asian, you have a ton of gold. It's not too bad because all of these upgrades and the blacksmith upgrades, your unit upgrades, if you want to pick up Alex, all of that is very gold expensive.
yeah,
So
and we see that on the other side, Punish, yeah, he's generating similar amounts of food to Magma, but he is also consuming way more because he's producing horsemen. He has 3 TCs that are constantly pumping out villages right now, so all of that food is being used up, and it looks like he's going to try and push out a bit here, try to figure out what's going on. Doesn't really know that Magma on the other side is going for that age up, is going to try and take down an outpost. Honestly, I think Magma is in a great spot right now. He is able to buy some time. He has a lot of space between his base and the enemy base, and we see the age up coming in, and immediately Punish starts charging towards the side of Magma, hoping to be able to pick up a fight before he can get those upgrades. And it looks like he's going to actually pull back. Kind of a mistake, I feel, by
Yeah,
Punish,
I'm
because
surprised. I'm surprised he pulls
this
back
this was
because
the opportunity he had to fight against age 2 units after Magma had ended up spending so many resources on the age up. No, he doesn't have upgrades just yet, and we can see in the top right the upgrades are going to come in. So the next time that these two players clash, it is likely going to be age 3 units against the age 2 units of Punish.
yeah, and also Monastery comes right as Magma ages. I don't see any monk being made yet, and I don't see he has any monk, but hopefully he will get some. Yeah, now these men at arms with their Chad
The
armor,
Chad armor is just almost coming in,
that
so a lot of horseman numbers are pretty big, but these are age 3 longbows, so they're going to have no problem just shredding those horsemen down. So right now those horsemen don't really offer too much of a frontline defense against the longbows. Numbers are still seem to be quite low for Magma, but the counter
yeah.
up top just suggests that he has equal numbers, so perhaps he has units
Oh,
hiding away
but
somewhere. This looks like a really bad engagement by Magma. It looks like he wasn't paying attention. Perhaps a misclick. His entire army just ran into the base of Punish. Uh, we might be looking at a cleanup yet again.
yeah, that and in fact, I was going to say that Punish should have waited because he has his unit upgrade coming soon, but he may have needed because all of these Zugunu, they don't do too much damage to the man at arms. You can see 6 Zugunu and they still take 3 or 4 shots to kill one man at arm. So that's how strong this clad armor is.
Yeah, you don't even need Chad armor because those are H2 Jugenu. So they have 5 attack. Just your base man at arms from Castle Age has 4 armor, so that's good enough to let you just kind of like take 3 damage per shot, which is the minimum damage
Yeah, right.
uh Jugenu
They
can
do.
do anyway.
Yeah, they
But
cannot do it low that anyway because of those extra
and we
bolts.
kind of at this point we're kind of seeing the technology disadvantage kind of start playing a factor, because numbers were definitely on the side of Punish there, but his horsemen were pretty much just fighting men at arms throughout that fight. I would have preferred to see those horsemen kind of just try to charge at the longman, because there weren't any spears there, so there was nothing to really stop them. And the men at arms just they don't take damage from these horsemen because those are Chad armor man at arms. You might as well let the Jugeno fight them, because the horsemen, the higher base damage of the horsemen is irrelevant, because those man at arms they have like 6 or 7 armor.
Yeah, this game. I mean, there is a Nesto gear, so that can change the whole game. If Magma doesn't bring his own Springald or some kind of melee use. These men at arms are also pretty good against the Nesto bees, but it's hard about if Magma will ever get to the Nesto bees because Punish can just put all of his units onto the Nesto bees and make sure Magma never reaches them.
Yeah, in low number, when if you're talking like 1 or maybe 2 Nestor bees, yeah, the men at arms can kind of just run them down. But these aren't Mangonels, these are Nestor bees. They do not really have a damage penalty versus melee units, so they should be able to shred down the men at arms if he is able
Yeah.
to get them en masse. And he is sitting on 2 right now. We see a couple of knights also out for punish, so that's great. Those units will are going to do way better against, going to be good against both the man at arms and both and the longbow. And Magma right now is kind of still sticking to the longbow player. His opponent has already aged up to the castle age.
Ooh, and the best part is that the Magma has the vision, so he knows exactly what his opponent makes, but not the other way around. So Magma, he can prepare for it, and I feel like yeah, this into Knights is a very good one. That oh yeah, Magma taking this fight despite knowing that his opponent
But
units.
look at that, Punish kind of sleeping on the job, does realize that the man at arms are going for the Nesto bees. It looks like one of the Nesto bees is going down. The Jugunu aren't really surrounding the Nesto bees. The Nesto bees are just kind of doing whatever at
Yeah.
this point. They're just firing at individual men at arms. Would have been way better to see these Nesto bees just fire 1 or 2 volleys back into the longbows, because
Oh,
that immediately destroys them.
almost, and Magma finishes the job with the longbows. Amazing, really good. Not
But
that.
the big question is, does he win this fight? Because Jugunu numbers are looking pretty big, and never mind that, because a man
Oh, We got our
Sprinkles, you bring
Mangonel.
nest of bees, I got mangonels of my own, baby.
Oh yeah, that Mangonel. I think this is the moment for Magma. He's got the sieges, he has got the units, and he's got a Mangonel. That's all he needs right now. And Magma, let's see, he's got 3 stables. What is he's missing? Actually, he's got a very good eco, but he just cannot be making. Yeah, he's not in a condition to spam knights, which the answer technically the answer to this army comp is a lot of knights, but that's a problem with knights. You need to start very early to have a mass.
He is starting to amass a decent number of crossbows, so that is going to help him a lot in clearing out those chats because the +2 armor doesn't really mean much against the +9 bonus that the
Yeah.
crossbow gets. And we do see some Springles coming in, so Nest of Bees really aren't going to be an option anymore unless he gets Springles of his own as well. Okay, wait, no Springles? I
No
thought I
sprinkles.
saw a Spring.
I don't see
Yeah,
any
I think that
sprinkles.
was just Mangonel in Fog of War, and that's one TC that goes down. Punish still has 2 TCs, and honestly, both players are sitting at about 100 villages right now, so TCs aren't really the most important. We see the Knights charging in, they are soaking up a lot of
Ooh.
damage. None of these units really do a lot to them, so those 5 Knights are just taking forever to kill, although they aren't really achieving anything. They're kind of just running around the Mangonel. It looks like the Chukonu are going to man up to the
Oh.
task and take down the Mangonel, so that's interesting. And now we see another dive, the Men-at-Arms going in for the nest of bees in the back. Another nest of bees back even further behind is going to lay down some damage, but I kind of don't know what the hell is going on here. We see Punish making some spears. I
Oh
don't
man.
know if
Longbows are attacking the mill. That's why you gotta tell them the target, otherwise they're very stupid.
they just spend all of their times in the archery ranges and they don't really.
They don't
These
really
guys
get
didn't
out.
really score very well in their tests.
Nice. Yeah, but they took out the nest of bees, and that's all we need. That one tower is doing so much work for Magma. It's providing the network of castles bonus, and it's just
Yeah,
outside the
Punish.
range.
That tower is so annoying.
Oh man, I have
But
to say, Punish played this well. I feel like this is game over now. Punish played this very well. I'm gonna
Punish
fast
tried
forward to
really
X.
well. Couple of bad fights along the way meant that he just kind of just repeatedly lost his nest of bees for free. You can kind of move your nest of bees between
Yeah.
shots. You can use your infantry to kind of screen, and that helps a lot. But one of the nest of bees just immediately died, and the longbows kind of were unchecked throughout the game. I didn't really check if he ended up getting the +2 on the range armor, but
Oh, that was
the
a very
spears,
entertaining game. Yeah.
very
And
entertaining game. It was also great to see the spears at the end against the Man-at-Arms longbow composition.
mhm. And those two nest of bees, as you mentioned, if they were kept alive, that could be it. That's all we needed. Just 2 nest of bees alive. Take care of those men at arms that are approaching them, and those nest of bees would have cleared everything else. So yeah, a slight miss micro there, and that was it. Very well played by Punish. I honestly think that he did much better than he could have done early on, because just taking some very good fights in the beginning of the game, and Magma getting too greedy, he got close to the back of Punish's base, lost all of his army, some bad decisions with the formations, but overall really good game plan. I like he had towers just in the right place to provide him the vision of his enemy, and he stuck to a unit comp, made the right sieges, and that was it. Very nice play by Magma. And as you can see, just having aggression on your opponent gives you all the map control. Magma was out on the map collecting deer, boars, while Punish had to
Can we
stick
have a
to
look
farms.
at the villager graph?
Yeah, let's do that.
'Cause I kind of feel like the 3 town centers were not producing constantly.
That is very much possible, especially when he was so much under pressure. Yeah, you can see that he was not producing with the 3 town centers continuously. So Magma's pressure did work. Magma was mostly producing constantly with the 2 DCs. Things stopped early on, later in the game. Yeah, really nice game. I have to say that again, Magma, he's a conqueror level 1 player, and for Punish to give him such a tough fight, that's amazing. All right, let's dive into the
Really,
second
really
game.
Well
Before that, we
played.
have to quickly check. We have to quickly check where is what's this picks for the next game. So let's hop out of the caster mode and check in with the players about their picks. Let's go. Game number 2. Wait a second, actually, I need to make some changes. I just realized I have my scorecard blocking the army count. Thanks to our loyal viewer Flabber for pointing this out.
Flabberings.
Okay, I think this is better now. Except that this is slightly off center, which for the OCD people might be an issue.
XW.
Okay, we are ready. Let's go. It's oh shit! I don't know how to play this. Okay, now I know. We've got Ozutsu with Rus
Dream City.
and Magma as friends. So Magma has played the two most basic civs in this game, English and French.
I like it. I like it.
Pareto as the uh, French expert or French diplomat. How do you feel about this pick? Do you think Magma has a
Feel like
chance?
I don't know anything because you're not streaming on Discord.
Oh, really? Okay, give me a second. Let's go. On this side, it's going for the standard build for Ruse, open with the hunting cabin, and not go for an extra scout. Is that the build? Or we cannot see it. Yeah, he's not going for an extra scout. He either forgot about it or he has a different build in mind. Anyway,
Is, is this going to be an 80 Bunty game?
it will be an 80 Bunty game. Oh no, he does have two scouts. He does have two scouts. No third scout, which is okay. But in a way that defeats the purpose of having an hunting game. You know what? We did skip the early part of the game, so it's possible that he made his sex scout using the hunting cabin. So punish if we did that, we're
No,
extremely sorry.
destroyed value is still 0, so we haven't had any scout losses just yet. It
Yeah,
looks like both players are actually going to be sitting on those two scouts. And I don't know if we can see the Rus Bunty on the custom wood screen, but
let's see. Now, no, we cannot see the bounty here. Good thing is with the Rus, you get a lot of sheep, and you can see 8 sheep from this one scout. This other scout dropped 5 sheep, and there's more coming. Meanwhile, Magma. Let's see how many scouts Magma made. He also made 2, and the best part is he gets to. Well, he gets to deny the deer in Punish's base.
that is interesting. So to both players playing on two scouts, that should give Magma a lot of opportunity to deny the early game momentum that the Rus has. He already has collected the 242 gold, goes 100 food over, but probably he was microwing his scouts over there in the deer contest, but does end up putting up the Kremlin a pretty
Kremlin
fast
at
age up.
3. No, that's actually a very late age up. 311.
Oh, actually, that is very late. We skipped the early game.
Yeah, we
I
skipped
forgot.
the early game.
Like, hey
311.
man, that's pretty fast. We just started watching.
Okay, so now I'm back. Oh my god, bro. This real? This is GG.
80 Bunty.
No, this is 35 Bunty, man. This is worse
35
than
Bunty.
this is worse than 80 Bunty. Holy
There is
shit.
no Bunty.
Yeah, and that's that's
He
about
is going to go for that is
60 Bunty.
60
Wow.
Bunty, but I think we might soon hit the 80 Bunty mark.
Okay, this is crazy. I have to say, okay, Magma also got 2 of these deer packs together, which I'll have to say it's lucky on Magma's part, but at the same time, Magma also did deny the deer in the back. So, well, he did a pretty good job.
He just managed to get to every single tier first, so there's that. So Magma is winning the scout wars in the early game. Now we're going to see Night Civ versus Night Civ. Ozutsu does have a fair few sheep under his town center. I think Magma is working with significantly less sheep, but French should have a bit more map control in the early game at the very least, so that should let him kind of
Yeah,
go for maybe he grabs the double deer pack over there. That
yeah, that'll be
that
actually a
that
very
would
good one.
it's kind of
Oh,
far
and the
out,
boar,
and
and
the
the
board
boar.
you just gotta
Okay.
go for that.
So I will point out here this is not all losses for Punish because Yeah, no bounty, but look at the sheep. He probably doesn't have to move out of his base for a very long time, while Magma will soon be moving out of his base. So yeah, and also I think Magma did something with his build because he's
That's a
building with
pretty
four,
late age up.
and that's a very late age up. And I know the scout takes you 25 seconds later, so that's still a very late age up.
You'd usually like if you're going for a super fast age up, you can get up by about 4 minutes, 350 to 4 on the French.
Yeah,
So like
four
1 minute
minutes,
late, he's
and
definitely actually we don't know why he's done that. He's gone for early wheelbarrow.
he okay. No, wait, did he? Okay, yeah, he did go for early beat. Never mind. Sorry, Magma, we doubted you. We still love you, man, but not as much we love Punish here. Punish has a Kremlin in the back. Actually, a very decent mission for Kremlin. Check this out: wood, gold, and deer.
The deer are kind of out there, but it's kind of there, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
that.
think it'll protect those deer from franchise. But for now, the wood
Yeah,
and gold at least are looking pretty nice and tight under the Kremlin. Rus is going to get that nice little bonus, and it looks like Magma for now is just going to be relaxing. He does go
yeah.
for an outpost on
Oh,
the gold, and Knights come in just
oh,
in time.
and Punish getting too greedy. Punish loses a
Looks like
scout.
he does lose a scout there, and the knight also drops pretty low. And this is a roost knight, so there is no healing back up for that knight
Yeah,
until these players head on to the third age. And Magma looks like he's going to be playing chase with punished units over there. The other knight does split off and run ahead and AFK, but we're all good. He is
yeah. Oh
blocking.
yeah, he's hitting,
He's
and he will get a charge. He will get a charge. Very good one. Very good. That's a dead knight.
very
Did nothing,
very well
but
played.
more raids coming. I think one villager died. One
One villager
villager
does
for
go down.
one knight is hard trade to.
One
Uh,
villager for two knights, honestly.
yeah, that was two
Two
knights.
knights
So
and a scout.
and well,
Two knights and a
French
scout, and he gets 80 bunti?
and 80 bounty, yeah, and that bounty is not going up because the I would remind everybody that the bounty does make full income go up. So if you're stuck with well, I am not going back to normal UI, but if you're stuck with below 100 bounty, you don't get to the second level. I mean the first level and the second level and third level, unless of course you go for our good old high trade house, which will give you an endless supply of deer. One another source of bounty is the huntable boar. There's
So
two
far,
huntable
both
boars in the
boar
map.
are still alive, so I'm guessing Punish is still looking at dealing with 80 bunti life. For
Yeah,
now, a wall is going to go up in the backside, try and secure up all the hunts over there, but there are a couple of knights here. So if he's going to go for that immediately, that might present a bit of an issue. Chooses to actually not complete the wall and pulls back.
not a
So
bad idea because he yeah that villager could get picked if Magma decides to go across. Uh, Punish playing very defensive, he's just getting the walls in, which in fact, when you're playing against French, it's not a bad idea. French's biggest strength is the ability to dive into your base and annoy you. So if you can minimize the number of openings for French, always great.
yep, but it does seem like Magma is going to have momentum in
Ooh.
terms of knights right now. Charge does go through, spear is unable to block, so that's going to be a villager kill, and that's going to even out the total villager kills. But with the French town center working double time, we do see a slight villager lead for the French here. It seems
Oh.
like Magma is going to play this game just on the one TC, not going for two TC. Honestly, like looking at those deer and the boar, I would just feel like
Yeah.
going for the double TC.
And
Honestly,
I would also like to point out that Punish is also creating a presence on the map. And I know this because Magma is scared of going out on the map. He is taking this berry back instead of going out for the hunt. So yeah, pretty good job by Punish as well. Even if he did not kill a lot of villagers, he's at least forcing Magma to stay in his base. So that's
kind
always
of
good.
his military is in punch space, but Magma is pulling ahead slowly. There is just there are there's just the one knight on the map for Punish. Magma, of course, can't be too sure on how many knights there are
Ooh.
because he does have free access to the gold, and looks like archers are going to come out for Magma now. And this is where things get a bit dicey because the knight numbers are extremely low at this point, so they aren't really going to threaten these archers, especially with those four French knights running around. And with
Hmm.
the single TC style that Magma is playing, he is going to be pretty strong in this early game. Punish does not have access to his food bonus, and he has been forced to put down really early farms because I kind of feel like it would have been more in his interest to try and use that wood to get walls up, maybe commit a couple more villagers to the walls and get that hunt in the back of the base instead of going for these early farms. But it seems like farms is what he's going go for, and another farm gets spotted. So even more farms are being dropped down by Punish in this matchup.
Yeah, and I am actually surprised that he's making this farm transition when there's this abundant
Exactly.
food in the back.
I feel
Just
like this
because,
is a really big mistake, and yes,
yeah,
there is because this
because,
basically means he cannot go for knights. And with this kind of economy, he is more going to be shifted into archers, where he has a couple of farms and a really solid wood line. It looks like both players are going to square off for a bit, but no ranged units on the side of Punish means that those spears are going to get picked off one by one, and knight numbers are really really low. So he isn't
yeah.
really presenting a threat. Magma is just pulling ahead by default right now. A lot of resources being spent on farms, a lot of resources being spent on incomplete walls. So
Oh,
we do
yeah,
see
yeah.
that, and
That,
it looks like Magma is not really planning to go for that double deer plus boar wombo combo over there. I
yeah, he's
kind
not
of
going for
feel
that.
like kind of
And
feel like that's kind of sad. Maybe he chooses to go for it later. Right now, he's more focused on making sure that his base is as compact as possible. I, I definitely think that Punish should at this point look at maybe using at least one or two knights to go around and put some pressure on Magna because sitting in his base, he's just going to fall behind.
yeah, it's a difficult one. Also, the fact that he's finally getting a second stable, which a second stable will help. An army comp that is completely melee will beat what Magma has got. Uh, as long as he can grab them. But right now, yeah, with the night numbers that Punish got, he cannot take a fight. If he can, yeah, if he can produce from the two stables, yeah, that'll be great. Also, he's producing a scout. Assuming it's a misclick because there's no need for him to making a scout with a stable, and he's got
It
those.
looks like he's going for a fight over here, but numbers are not even remotely in his advantage. Huge knight numbers, spears are
Oh,
going down. It looks like the gremlins are going to
the
brought onto
gremlins
the
are
map, going to
coming.
find an engagement. So far, we don't see any knights going down just yet. Looks like one knight is going to go down
Oh
for
man,
Magma, but
the all melee army that is, as I said, it's pretty strong even though the numbers.
pretty strong.
Because
But
all melee
it
army,
look
you don't have micro. You just leave them while your opponent has to micro with his archers. Those archers have to fight, attack the spears while you can just leave your units. So yeah, pretty good one. And those gremlins, of course, came very handy to turn the tide of this fight.
yeah, so it's kind of a repeat of the last match where Magma had a really solid military advantage, but goes for a very questionable fight against the Gremlins, and his
Yeah.
knights were just out. There were like two knights. Punish had two knights there.
Ooh.
Two knights aren't really going to kill your archers. He could have just disengaged with his knights and have the archers kite and
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah. When you see
basically free kills,
gremlins,
but he decided to commit his knights, and that just mean that all of those gremlins and the spears got so much value out of that because there were like two knights there. There were two
yeah.
knights.
I mean, ideally, yeah, you see gremlins, you just kite back, wait for them to expire, and then you come back. Unless you're feeling very strong, which I think that's what Magma's feeling, and he's paying this for that.
Yeah, feeling too strong can be a bit of an issue, but right now Magma is still looking at a pretty solid military lead.
Yeah,
Despite the questionable fight, Punish is finally going to look to do some damage, but has encountered a really, really big wall.
that's a well, Magma made this wall a lot earlier, and now it's going to pay off. One thing Punish can do is he's got these three knights. I think he's going for the boar. I think that's what he's going for.
It's
Better
time
to
to
move
get
that.
that bounty.
Yes, that's a good one. I think it gives you 75 bounty. Yeah, that's not bad. let's go back. How much bounty does he have now? He's got 135, so he's finally unlocked tier one, and it's
Yeah.
very sad that I have to say that, but tier one is well better than
He
tier
was
zero.
sitting, that means he was still sitting on that 60 bounty that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
So a little, even a little worse than 80 bounty. So game obviously not going too well for Punish. He has the numbers right now. Most of them are spears. On the other hand, Magma is mostly going for archers. So this is kind of pretty much what he wants right now.
Hmm.
Night numbers are also higher. No, actually, night numbers are going to be higher for Zoot. So Magma is like, I don't want to make knights, man. Fuck this.
Magma went for second TC. I think he stopped producing, and now he will be spamming knights again. But yeah, as I said, this whole melee army, it's a lot less micro intensive. So I like
I'm
what
actually
Magma has got
surprised
here.
Magma is trying to go for a fight right after the
Yeah,
second TC.
yeah. While he has three knights, he has exactly three knights.
Yeah, he has to know that.
Let's see. So there is a scout in this army for Punish. If he moves a little forward, he will know that Magma has only archers. That's all it does, all the armies. So he could take this fight and win.
It looks like he himself is going to be putting down a second TC. He is fairly behind on tempo at this point. Does have a fair bit of food economy. The farm transition
Oh,
has kind of worked on, but it looks like a couple of knights, sneaky boys, have found their way into the base, and
they have
some
found a
villagers are
way,
going to be
and yeah, uh, good kill. So Magma has a 13 villager lead right now.
pretty good lead for the
Ooh.
French player here. He is behind on knights, but now he should know that Punish is stacking up a fair few knights up in his base, so he needs to do something about that, and archers ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, Punish actually has a very good night mass. I think he can go out on the map. The best part about knights is you can go forward, see what your opponent has, and it's up to you if you want to take the fight or not. So you are never forced to take the fight. I mean, unless you just forget about where your units are. And
Yep,
nice
there
kill, a
is
villager kill,
that,
and
and
those.
Punish is finally gonna clap back, but pressure on this bottom side. There is a huge archer mass here, so even
Yeah.
like even though these are nice, that really won't be enough. They're going to try and take down one more villager. One more
Oh,
goes down, and he does end up trading three knights for like two villagers, which is not too bad.
yeah,
Actually, three
that is
villagers. The three villagers
okay.
went down there,
There
and
is the
looks like a
market coming.
market
That
is
tells you that somebody overmined the gold. But yeah,
interesting enough. It doesn't really look like he overmined anything, although we are going pretty fast, so not
oh yeah,
quite
no,
sure.
no, he had 1100 gold for a minute, and then he bought food from that just now.
Ah, nice. So it looks like that does mean that he's probably going to look to pump more knights. Knight numbers looking 9 to 9 knights, 12 knights, and there we go. Roos player, as expected, does go into the third age. That does give him an advantage in the numbers, but I kind of feel like Magma's economy is kind of just falling apart for some reason.
Let's see, Magma. Yeah, food income is okay. Well, compared to the Ruse player, not as good. But yeah, this archer mass is dealing very well. That's a knight kill just by archers.
No, he just barely survives.
Oh, barely survives, barely survives. Yeah, and that's now it's not an early night anymore. It's a full fledged night. Uh, I'm also surprised that Magma went TC sooner. I mean, I think he depending too much on the berries instead of grabbing
I don't.
these
I think
deer.
the second TC was kind of late by Magma. Like usually, you'd expect the second TC to be coming in either early or you just go for third age and then put down a second TC later. But he kind of does something which is in the middle. Same for Punish, but he does manage to find his way to the third age, and that kind of meant that for both players there was a bit of a lull in the middle where they were Magma was playing this one TC aggression style, but he was then went for a second TC, so he couldn't really be aggressive with his one TC aggressive style. And now he's kind of just he does manage to age up and kind of he does have the villager lead, but it feels like now we're looking at a situation where his villager lead is kind of getting counteracted by Rus's superior economy.
Yeah. Also note that Magma's, I mean, Punish's army is the kind of army that you can dive under TC, but that's not Magma's army. I mean, Magma's army is not like that.
He has a lot of archers here, which is
And
kind of
they're
a miss.
almost upgraded. I have a feeling like this maybe Punish could have fought this, but
I think
well, better.
Punish should have just fought that. I think he can just A move and win that fight. He had the advantage in knights.
Yeah, that is
Actually,
true.
they're both even in knights, but
There's
that,
spears over
that's
there.
all you need. That's all you
There's
need.
spears, and okay,
And the
that's why
gremlins coming in, and this is going to be the gremlin push that we see right now.
I think that's what Punish was waiting for. Oh, nice round, very
And
nice
that's
round. Look at the kills there, man. Amazing, amazing. 3 knights died for nothing, and that's what happens when you click your knights and you move away to manage your eco, and you look back, your half your knights are dead. Yeah, this is looking
yeah.
like we're gonna see a third game. That's what it looks
This
like.
is this is probably going to be a cleanup because the archers, yeah, sure,
Ooh,
they're hitting the spears, but the knights are like perpetually on the archers, and his own knights
yeah,
can't really peel because this, like, knight archer is really strong. Knight archer is really great, but not against knight spearman.
yeah.
You can
Knight
win against
spears is.
horse spearman, you can't win against knight spearman.
Oh man, this is yeah. This is.
This
And
is
also
looking like
there
a
is men at
disaster.
arms mixed into these. Like ideally, you have an army of crossbows and knights, as expensive as that army is, but that takes care of everything. But if you're into knight archers, you have to keep your
You can
archers
honestly
behind.
just go pure arbilatrier against this. Get Gambisons, go pure arbilatrier, and just mow your opponent down.
Yeah. Well, this is yeah, this is looking tough for Magma here.
This is looking like a pretty bad
Magma
spot
has to
for
move
Magma.
all
Villagers
of his
are
villagers,
on the run.
all his villagers.
They
Oh
are going
crap!
to be
Yeah,
caught by Manitowns on the other side. They are going to loop around. There is one knight coming on. He's going to take some losses here, not an insane amount because military numbers have dwindled a bit.
oh,
But
these are
oh,
farming. They
lots
just
of
decided run later, farm first.
there's actually no more garrison space.
And look at this, man. Keep drop. That's it. That's how you end the game. Amazing.
That
Amazing.
should